Okay, let's look at the solution of this paper. For question 1, make y the subject of the formula ay equals b bracket 1 plus dy minus y. We want to make y be the subject. That means y equals something. Okay, on right hand side of the equation there's no y. So write down the question first. And what we need to do is multiply b inside the bracket, and you will get ay equals b plus b dy minus y. Next, we need to move all terms containing y on one side of the equation. Therefore, ay minus b dy plus y would equals b. In here, pay attention to this term. Y, there's a hidden 1, okay, hidden coefficient 1. So when you take out common factor y, it will become bracket a minus b d plus 1 equals b. And finally, move this term, okay, to another side of the equation, become y equals b over a minus b d plus 1. So that's finished the first question. And for the second question, simplify this one and then express your answer with positive indices. So write down the expressions first. M to the power negative 3 times n to the power 1 to the power negative 2, and then m to the power 3 n to the power 1. What we need to do is multiply this negative 2 inside the bracket. That's become m to the power positive 6 n to the power negative 2, and denominator m to the power 3 n to the power 1. Next step you can do is doing the cancellation of the common factor. When you are doing the division with the same basis, then you need to perform the subtraction of the index. So there's m to the power 3 again. And how does this 3 comes out? That is 6 minus 3. And n here that will become negative 3. And how does it negative 3 comes out? That is negative 2 minus 1. But look at the question. You need to express your answer with positive index. Okay, so you need to change n to the power negative 3 to the positive 3 by putting it in the denominator of the expressions. So final answer, m to the power 3 over n to the power 3. So that's the end of the question number 2. And go to question number 3. Factorize these two expressions. A, actually quite straightforward. You are just working with this one, 25 p squared plus 10p plus 1. Actually, it can be simplified as 5p bracket square plus 2 times 5p times 1 times 1 square. Of course, in exam you can skip this one. Okay, I just want to show you that it is a standard format of a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. I just want to show this format to you. Okay, so here you can directly write out the answer 5p plus 1 all squared. And then go to part B. The expression is 49t squared minus 25p squared minus 10p minus 1. And you can see that these three terms are almost the same as part A, but the sign are not the same. What you need to do is just take out the negative sign. Okay, some of you may think, okay, take out the common factor negative 1, but this 1, okay, is no need to write down. So we usually just write down negative sign, and then 25p squared plus 10p plus 1. And you will see that these three terms are exactly the same as A, so it can be written as 49p squared minus 5 5p plus 1 all square. Now you can see that 49t square can be regarded as 7t bracket square minus 5p plus 1 all square. So here that is A and this is B, and this is the standard format of A square minus B square, right? So it can be changed to A plus B times A minus B. And we can write in this way. Give the square bracket 7t plus 5p plus 1 times 7t minus 5p plus 1. Remember, you should have the bracket for the 5p plus 1 because this negative side should be given to 5p and positive 1. So the final answer would be 7t plus 5p plus 1. Change it back to the small bracket, and here simplify something inside the square bracket, the 7t minus 5p minus 1. Pay attention here, it's not positive 1. Negative times positive, okay, negative 1. So that's the end of question number 3. And then let's go to question number 4. Okay, this is the question about the profit and loss. The price of a calculator is marked 80% higher than the cost. So suppose we assume M be the marked price. The marked price is 80% higher than the cost. That means the original cost is C. Okay, I multiply it with 1.8 because that's 80% higher than the original one, right? So my price can be written as 1.8 times the cost, and show it at a discount of 10%. So the selling price S can be written as the market price M multiplied to 0.9. Okay, because there's a discount of 10%, and the calculator is sold at 324. So S is 324. Part A, find the mark price, quite standard. So A, let M be the market price. Okay, let M be the market price, and hence 324 will equals to M times 0.9. So you will get M, that is 360. Therefore, the market price is 360. So finish part A. And part B, you need to find the profit percent. Okay, so what does that mean, profit? Profit, that means the selling price minus cost price. Okay, in here it assumes selling price is greater than cost price, then you will gain. Okay, you will have the gain. And the percent, that means you need to compare this profit to the cost. So the key point is find the cost first. Let C be the cost. As we know that the mark price equals 1.8 times cost. So you can use this relationship to set up the equation. 360 equals 1.8 times C. So C equals 200. So you know that the cost is 200. And therefore, profit percent, that is 324 minus 200 over 200 times 100%. And you will get that is 62%. And that's the end of question number 4. So move to question number 5. Okay, there's a word problem. 6 years ago, Patrick was 6 times as old as his son. Patrick is 3 times as old as his son now. find Patrick's age now. As you can see that there are two time frames. The first one is now, and the second time frame is 6 years ago. Okay, how do we organize data? We can try to think. We consider Patrick's age now and his son age now. So there are 4 numbers you need to consider. Now we need to find the Patrick's age now. That means we want to find the number in this box. So we let this be x. Patrick is 3 times as old as his son now. So in this box, it will be x over 3. Okay, x over 3. Because Patrick's age is 3 times to his son's. Okay. So 6 years ago, now Patrick is x years old. 6 years ago, that's before. Okay. Patrick's age was x minus 6, and his son's will be x over 3 and then minus 6. So that is the age of Patrick and his sons in 6 years ago respectively. But what is the relationship of these two numbers or of these two boxes? 6 years ago, Patrick was 6 times as old as his sons. So therefore, you know that when I multiply this one to 6, it will be Patrick's age 6 years ago. Okay, so let x be Patrick's age now. You should have this word now. Okay, do not just write down let x be the Patrick's age, because the marker or other people will not understand. Okay, in when. Okay, so you can set up the equation x over 3 minus 6. This is the Patrick's son's age 6 years ago. When you multiply this by 6, it will become Patrick's age 6 years ago. Now what you need to do is multiply this number 6 inside to these two terms. That become 2x minus 36 equals x minus 6. And then x will become 30. Just doing the simple transformation by yourself, okay, the transposing term. Therefore, at the final statement, Patrick is 30 years old now. And that's the end of question number 5. So let's go to question number 6. That is the problem about the function, as you can see. So part A, find fx. Some of you may think, oh, fx is here. Then what we need to find? Actually, what you need to find is the constant A and constant B. But how? Look at the condition. f1 equals negative 3. When you look at this one, f1 equals negative 3. This one, f1 means we place x by 1. You put x equals 1 in this one. Okay? But how about f2? What does that mean? That means we place x by number 2. Okay? And then put it in here. So you will have two equations. The first one, f1, that means x becomes 1. a times 1 square plus b times 1 equals negative 3. The second one is f2 equals negative 2. That means a bracket negative 2 all square plus b times negative 2 equals negative 2. Oh, sorry, positive 2 here. Okay. So you solve these two equations together. And then a plus b equals negative 3. And then 4a plus 2b equals negative 2. So you can further simplify this. That is a plus b equals negative 3, and then 2a plus b equals negative 1. So you can see that the coefficient of b are both 1 on both equations. You can do the subtraction of these two equations. Therefore, 2a minus a, that is negative 1 minus negative 3. Just use the second equation minus the first equation, and you will get a, that is 2. When you get a equals 2, you substitute back in the first equation. B is equals to negative 5. So write down the function fx equals to 2x squared minus 5x. That's the end of part A. And then part B, you need to solve fx equal to 7. So what does that mean, solve? That means you need to find x equal to something. Okay, what is x? And you have the equation here, you need to find x. The equation fx equals 7, that means 2x squared minus 5x equals 7. And you change it into standard form of quadratic equation. So solve it by using cross method. And now you can see that there are two expressions, a, b. These two expressions, the product is 0. Therefore, either one of them will be 0. And hence you can get the final answer, x equals negative 1 or x equals 7 over 2. So that's the end of this question, number 6. And then go to question number 7. Simplify these expressions. That's algebraic fraction. As you can see, the denominator are more than one term. So every time when you see this situation, give the bracket to it in advance. 2 over bracket 2n minus 3 minus 3 over 3n minus 2. Okay, you should add the bracket in advance. So the problem is, how do we simplify the subtraction of the algebraic fraction? It's just similar to what you did in the simplification of algebra in primary school. Find the LCM of the denominator. But the key point is, if there are more than one term and they do not have any common factor, the LCM of these two denominators with just the product of these two denominators. Just multiply them together. And numerator, they will become 2 multiplied 3n minus 2 minus 3 times 2n minus 3. If you are not familiar with it, okay, you may try to use some algebraic number to have the fraction 2 over 5 minus 3 over 7. Okay, you can use some numbers to help you memorize how to simplify the fraction. Denominator, find the LCM, 5 times 7. Numerator, 2 times 7 minus 3 times 5. Okay, just doing the same thing in both number and polynomial. Okay, so the next step you need to do is multiply the number inside the bracket here, including the sign. So you will get, that is 6n minus 4 minus 6n plus 9. Denominator 2n minus 3, and then 3n minus 2. So So you will get the final answer, numerator 5, denominator 2n minus 3, 3n minus 2. That's it. Okay? So go to question number 8. Given that point A, 9, 3, B is obtained by rotating A clockwise about the origin through 90 degrees. Okay, so let's see what's happened here. Suppose there is a coordinate system, x axis, y axis, origin 0, and there's a point A, there's 9, 3, okay, something like here. Now it rotated about the origin clockwise, okay, 90 degrees. You can draw the straight line like this. You will just imagine rotating this wooden stick OA 90 degrees in clockwise direction about O. So they will become something like here with the right angle, okay. There's point B, and there's a right angle. You need to find the coordinate of B. So how? You need to consider something like this. How do we get this position? A, 9, 3. That means the horizontal distance here, that's 9. And the vertical distance here, that is 3. So you can see it's from the rectangular box here. So after the rotation, here the vertical one is 9, and the horizontal one will become 3. And how do we write down the coordinate here? The x coordinate would be the horizontal distance, okay, 3. Because it's positive, go to the right hand side, right? Right hand side of the y axis. And the y coordinate, there will be a negative 9. Because it's going downward, okay, under the x axis. So therefore, A would be quite straightforward. That is, write down the coordinate of B, 3, negative 9. And part B, find the area of triangle OAB, and O is the origin. As you can see that OAB is an isosceles triangle and a right angle triangle. So you can just find the length of OA and OB, multiply them together, and then divide it by 2. But you can also see that the length of OA is the same of OB. So find OA, that's enough. That's 3 squared plus 9 squared. OA, that is square root of 90. And hence, the area of triangle OAB can be written as square root of 90 times square root of 90, and then over 2. The first square root of 90, that's OA. The second square root of 90, that's OB. OA times OB over 2. After doing the simplification, you get that is 45 unit square units. And that's the end of question number 8. So go to question number 9. For question number 9, that is the plane jump of circle. In the figure, A, B, C, D, E are lying on a circle. BD is a diameter. That's a very important information. AE equals DC. Okay, mark it. Angle BDC, that is 30 degrees. Angle DBE, 20 degrees. And part A, you need to find angle DBC. DBC, so you can see that you need to add the straight line here by yourself. And there's a right angle actually. because DB is the diameter, so the angle at circumference joining from the diameter would be equal to 90 degrees. So part A, quite straightforward actually. Angle DCB equals 90 degrees. Of course, in the DSE, when you are working with the calculation of the angle, it's no need to write down the reason so far. But in here, okay, I want to write down the reason for you as a reference. Here, angle in semi-circle. So you can find this angle. 180 degrees minus 90 degrees minus 30 degrees, that's 60. So angle DBC would equal to 180 degrees minus 90 degrees minus 30 degrees, that is 60 degrees. Okay, quite standard. And part B, you need to find angle BCA. So join this line CA because you need to find angle BCA. Okay. So you will find that if we need to find this one, we need to find this one first. Okay. So what can we do? Let's start looking the information we have. First one, AE equals DC. So there are two equal chords, and therefore the angle subtended from these two chords to the circumference will be the same. So that's the hint for us to add a straight line AB also. Because then you can see that angle EBA would equals angle DBC. That's also 60 degrees. Okay. And next, what we can do is using this BD again, we add a straight line here. Then we can find that there is another right angle here. Okay, there's another right angle here. So look at the quadrilateral ABDE. I repeat, ABDE is a cyclic quadrilateral. So if it is 80 degrees, then the opposite angle would be 180 degrees minus 80. So this whole angle, angle AED, will be 100 degrees. And minus 90 degrees, you will get this one is 10 degrees. So finally, you will jump to this one, that's 10 degrees. Alright? So let's start the solution. First one, we find this one. Angle EBA equals angle DBC equals 60 degrees. Reason: equal chords, equal angles. And second, we need to state angle DEB is 90 degrees. Reason: angle in semi-circle. And next, consider the cyclic quadrilateral ABDE. Something like this. Okay. ABDE. Here that is 80 degrees already. You can see that is 20 plus 60. And the opposite angle AED, angle AED will be 180 degrees minus 80 degrees. So angle AED will be 100 degrees. But also EB is a diameter, as we discussed before, and there's a right angle. So angle AEB, that is 100 degree minus 90 degree, that is 10 degree. So finally, go back to here, the big picture. AEB is 10 degree and ACB is also 10 degree. There's a butterfly shape here, okay? So angle BCA or ACB equals angle AEB equals 10 degree. Reason, angles in the same segment. And that's the end of question number 9. So go to question number 10. That is the problem about quadratic graph. If the graph of y equals mx squared plus m plus 3 bracket x minus 1 touches the x-axis. So what does that mean? Touches the x-axis. There's a quadratic graph. I don't know whether it is open upward or downward. I don't know it so far. So there are two possible cases. First one is open upward and touch the x-axis like this at a single point. Or second case is open downward but touch the x-axis at a single point. The key point is it just has the one single point. That means if you solve the equation of this and the equation of y equals 0, it just only have one set of solution. So let's see what's happened. Now y equals mx squared plus m plus 3 bracket x minus 1. That's the equation of the graph. And the second equation, that is equation of x-axis, y equals 0. Okay? You are considering the intersection of these two lines or these two graphs. Okay? So substitution, y equals 0, that becomes mx squared plus m plus 3 bracket x minus 1 equals 0 because y equals 0. Okay. What's the equation for? This equation is need to solve x. It need to solve x. And x is the solving the x coordinates. Maybe more than one, so I say bracket s of the intersection. This means the intersecting point. Okay. This equation is used for solving the x coordinates of the intersecting point of these two lines. But the problem is, the question told you that these two lines just touch at each other. That means it just have only one solution of x. But that's a quadratic equation. So we will read that this quadratic equation will only have one solution of x or equal roots. You may consider it as two roots, but these two roots are the same. So go back to the concept of quadratic equation. If the quadratic equation have two equal roots, then the discriminant would be equal to 0. The format of discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. If it is equal to 0, that is equivalent to the quadratic equation has repeated roots. So let's set up the equation by using discriminant. B squared minus 4ac equals 0. Then do the expansion. You can set up the standard equation m squared plus 10n plus 9 equals 0. So it's very easy to factorize. If there are product of two expressions equals 0, that means either one of the expressions would equal to 0. Either this one or another one. So m equals -1 or m equals -9. Two answer. Okay, and that's the end of question number 10. So go to question number 11. There's the question about straight lines, and you look at the whole question, it involves more than one topics. The first one, equation of straight line. The second one, concept of concycling. Okay, so the difficulty is how do we apply the concept of the circle property in the coordinate plane. And let's do part A and part B1 first, okay? Don't worry too much. So part A, two straight line, L1, 2x plus y minus 48 equals 0, and L2, x minus 2y plus 20 equal to 0 intersect at point P. When you look at the word intersect, that means, okay, you can find the intersecting point quite easily. Just put those two equations together. And what you can do is multiply 2 in the first equation. So it becomes 4x plus 2y minus 96 equal to 0. And then x minus 2y plus 20 equal to 0. Why? Because after you multiply 2 in the first equation, you can just add these two equations together. Then y will be cancelled. So therefore, 4x plus x minus 96 plus 20 equals 0. 5x equals 76. And x could be obtained, that is 76 divided by 5. And luckily there's 15.2 here. I use decimals this time. And after you find x, you can find y. Okay, substitute in the first equation or second equation, it doesn't matter. Okay, so 2 times 15.2 plus y minus 48 equal to 0. So y, it could be obtained by 48 minus 2 times 15.2, that is 17.6. So therefore, the coordinate of P, it can be written as 15.2, 17.6. Or of course you can use fraction to represent your answer. Okay, just use your calculator. Okay, 15.2, and then press the fraction button. Okay, you can change it back to 76/5. It doesn't matter. Okay, just up to you. Because it's a terminating decimals. Okay, I just present it in this way I want. And B, let L1 cut the x-axis at A. When you look at this one, cut the x-axis, that means you substitute y equals 0 in L1. L2 cut the y-axis at B, that means you substitute x equals 0 in L2. Then you can find A and B directly. So, look at L1. When you substitute y equals 0 in here, then you can solve 2x minus 48 equals 0, and x is 24. So A, 24, 0. Done. And B, you need to substitute x equals 0 in L2. So there's 0. And y equals 10. So B, that is 0, 10. Done. So B1, just write down the number here. A, 24, 0. B, 0, 10. That's finished. Write down the coordinates of A and B. So your answer should be in this form, in order pair. And B2, okay, that's the tricky part. Andy claims that O, A, P, B are concycling, where O is the origin. Do you agree? Explain your answer. Then, try to draw a figure to understand the situation. Let's see what's happened. Okay, all points are positive, so I just draw the first quadrant of the coordinate plane. Okay, there are 4 points. O is the origin, A 24, 0, B 0, 10, and P something like here, okay, 15.2, 17.6, okay, something like this. So join these 4 points, okay, like this, form the cyclic quadrilateral first. As we know that this is a right angle, okay? So when would these 4 points be concyclic? If the sum of the opposite angle equals 180 degree, then these 4 points are concyclic. So that is notes. OAPB concyclic. Okay, I don't care the grammar first so far. That means angle BOA plus angle BPA equals 180 degree. And that is equivalent to angle BPA equals 90 degree, right? Because we know that BOA must be 90. That means if we can check this is 90 degree, then these 4 points are concyclic. Otherwise, they are not concyclic. So this angle BPA equals 90 degree, that is equivalent to slope of BP times slope of AP equals -1. That means your checking process is check the slope of BP times slope of AP and see whether they are equal to, the product is equal to -1. If yes, that means this is right angle, and this is right angle. That means sum of opposite angle equal 180 degree, and that means these 4 points are concyclic. So let's check the product of these two, the slope of these two straight lines. Write it here. Slope of BP times slope of AP, that is equals to 17.6, 15.2 multiplied with 17.6 minus 0 over 15.2 minus 24. Okay, so use the calculator. Okay, 17.6 divided by 15.2. Okay, oh, there's 10, sorry, minus 10. Okay, I missed this one. 17.6 minus 10, and then divided by 15.2, so that is 1/2. Multiply with this one, 17.6 divided by 15.2 minus 24, -2. And luckily you find that's -1. Okay, congratulations, since you know that the product of these two straight lines, the product of the slope of these two lines is equal to -1. That means they form the right angle. That means the sum of opposite angle is 180 degree. That means they are concyclic. So you present it in this direction. You present them in this direction. Okay. The product of these two will be -1. Therefore, angle BPA equals 90 degree. And therefore, angle BOA plus angle BPA equals 90 degree plus 90 degree equal 180 degree. And therefore, OBPA are concyclic. Reason: opposite angles supplementary. The sum of these two opposite angles equal 180 degree. So that's the end of this question. And then go to another question. Question number 12. Okay, that's the question about the area and volume. A container is formed by right circular cone, this one, and a hemisphere. Hemi, that means half of the sphere. With the common base, suppose the base radius of the cone is 12. That's in here, that is 12. Common base. And the height of the cone is 18. So A, find the capacity of the container. Okay, that means the total volume of this solid. Okay, this solid can be classified into two parts. The first one is the hemisphere, and the second one is the cone. Okay, so part A, capacity is equals to 1/2 times 4/3 times pi times 12 to the power 3 cm cube, that is the volume of the hemisphere, plus 1/3 times pi times 12 squared times 18 cm cube, that is the volume of the or capacity of the cone. So plot them one by one. 1/2 times 4/3 times 12 to the power 3, that is 1152 pi cm cube, plus the volume of the cone, 1/3 times 12 squared times 18 is 864 pi cm cube. So add them together, that is 2016 pi cm cube. Okay, the question wants you to leave the answer in terms of pi, so just leave it here. Go to part B. The container described in A is held vertically like this as shown in the figure. It is known that 75% of the capacity of the container filled up with water. That means this water, the darker part, occupies 75% of this solid. The depth of the water is x. Find the value of x. So pay attention. If we consider the whole solid as 100%, the darker region occupies 75%. That means the hollow region is occupied 25%. So we can present in this way. The capacity of the remaining space, or we can call it an empty space, okay, will be the total volume or total capacity of this solid multiplied 25% cm cube, that is 504 pi cm cube. Now we can look at these two cones. The smaller cone, that's the empty cone, the volume is 504 pi cm cube, and the larger cone with the volume 864 pi cm cube. As we know that the height of the larger cone is 18. How about the height of here? We just know that this one will be x. And don't forget, there's a hemisphere. This is 12. So the whole part will be 18 plus 20. That means 30. Okay, that means 30 here. 30. And here it occupies x, so the remaining part is 30 minus x. And therefore you have two similar cones here. The smaller one, the height 30 minus x, and the volume 504 pi. And the second cone is the larger cone. the height 18, and the volume 864 pi. So you can apply the length ratio and then take it to power 3 becomes the volume ratio. Okay, so 30 minus x over 18, take it to power 3, that's become 504 pi over 864 pi. That's the equation you can set up. Then how do we simplify this one? 30 minus x over 18, that will equals to, we use the calculator to handle this one first, okay? 504 pi divided by 864 pi. So you find this one, you press the fraction button, that is 7 over 12, right? And you want to remove this power 3, so this one become power 1 over 3, okay? And hence you can use the calculator to press this one, 7 divided by 12 to the power, start the bracket, 1 over 3, close bracket, enter. So you will find that is 0.83554965, and then multiply 18 to the other side, you will get 15.03989838. So you can find x, that is 30 minus this number, okay? Just do the simple transposing term, that's 14.96 something. Therefore, x equals to 15.0, correct to 3 significant figure. Okay, that's it. That is the end of question number 12. And then go to question number 13. Okay, for this one, this is the question about more about polynomial. Fx equals 2x cubed plus ax squared plus bx minus 6. A, b are real constant. It is given that fx is divisible by x minus 2. That means when you substitute x equals 2 into the function, the remainder will be 0. Okay? Second statement, if fx is divided by x plus 1, the remainder is 3. That means when you substitute x equals negative 1 in the function, the number will become 3. That is by remainder theorem. Okay? And here, you may call it as a factor theorem, okay, by using factor theorem. But actually, it is just a special case of the remainder theorem. So, we use these two relationships to find unknown A and unknown constant B. We know that f2 equals 0 and f negative 1 equals 3. But what is the meaning of f2? That means we place x by 2. And what is f negative 1? That means we place x by negative 1. So the next step you should do is replace x by 2 in these expressions. So 2 bracket 2 to the power 3 plus a times 2 squared plus b times 2 minus 6 equals 0. And the second, 2 bracket negative 1 to the power 3 plus a bracket negative 1 squared plus b times negative 1 minus 6 equals 3. Don't forget this one, okay? The remainder is 3 here. So here you could simplify a times 4 for a, b times 2. Here, do the mind calculation. 2 to the power 3, 8 times 2, 16, okay? There's 16 here. 16 minus 6, that is positive 10. And second, negative 1 bracket squared, let's go back to positive 1. So there's 1a in here, b times negative 1, that is negative b. Handling the number now. Negative 1 to the power 3, negative 1. So this one is negative 2. Minus 6, that's negative 8. And then minus 3 again, so negative 11 equals 0. And then you can divide the first equation by 2. 2a plus b plus 5 equals 0. And then a minus b minus 11 equals 0. So you find that the coefficient of b are same in magnitude but opposite sign. Just do the addition of these two equations. You will get 2a plus a plus 5 minus 11 equals 0. And finally you get a equals 2. Then you get a equals 2. 2 times 2 plus b plus 5 equals 0. B equals negative 9. Alright. Therefore, you get a equals 2, b equals negative 9. Finish part A. And part B, Tommy claims that all the roots of the equation fx equal to 0 are rational. Rational means something can be expressed in the form of fraction, for example 2 over 3, negative over 1, 0 over 3, 2, etc. Okay. Do you agree? Okay, explain your answer. So the direct way to verify this statement is to solve the equation directly. If we consider fx equal to 0, that means, okay, 2x cubed plus 2x squared minus 9x minus 6 equal to 0. So, you know that the first one, x minus 2 will be the factor of fx. Then, and the second factor, you can find it by yourself. But how? 2x cubed divided by x, that is 2x squared here. Okay, so the leading term is 2x squared here. How about the final term? Negative 6 divided by negative 2, so that's positive 3 here. Okay, the problem is, how do we find this one? This must be something xy plus something xy. You don't know is positive or negative, okay? You don't know yet. So I call it as k, something like this, okay? I call it as k. But how do we find this k? You can do in this way. You can consider this this positive 2x squared. How does the positive 2x squared comes out? That is 1x times kx. And then negative 2 times 2x squared. That is the way you get x squared, right? So after you simplify this, that's become kx squared minus 4x squared. So that is k minus 4 bracket x squared. And you compare with this one, you want k minus 4 equals 2. Therefore, k should be 6. And hence, you can write down here, use the correction pen to cross it out, replace it by 6, okay? So in the exam, you don't know this number, you draw as k. And then after you consider the coefficient of x squared term, or coefficient of x, okay, it's just up to you. Just comparing the terms, then you can find this number. And hence, use the correction pen, cross out, and then become the number you want. this solving process, no mark. I just check whether this quotient is correct or not, okay? And hence, you can see there are two numbers here, two expressions here. The product is 0. That means either one of them is 0. For the first one, quite straightforward, that is x equals 2. For the second one, when you try to use the quadratic formula in your calculator, you press in 2, 6, 3, you'll find that the answer are not or cannot convert to the fractions. So it's a strong hint for you to using quadratic formula. So x equals to negative 6 plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So the equation here with the root negative 6 plus or minus square root 12 over 4. And you will find that square root 12 is irrational. It cannot be simplified further, or you can simplify as a 2 root 3, but root 3 cannot be further simplified, okay? So you can write in this way as negative 6 plus or minus 12 root 4 are, okay, there are two sets of numbers, okay, are not rational, therefore do not agree. Agree for what? The question said this equation with all the roots are rational. But after we solving this, found that just one of them is rational and two of them are not rational. Okay? So I do not agree with Tommy. And that's the end of question number 13. So go to question number 14. And for question number 14, that's the question about the quadrilateral. ABCD is a square. BEFD is a rhombus. ADF, BCE a straight line. H is a point on EF such that DH is perpendicular to EF. Okay, mark right angle here. Show that BCD is congruent to FHD. So angle B equal to angle F. Yes, there's a property of rhombus, quite simple. And then angle BCD, right angle, angle FHD, right angle. Okay. And we need one more line that should be equal. So check BD and FD. Okay, these two lines are equal because it's a rhombus. Done. So we have three conditions here. Okay. A1 in triangle BCD, triangle FHD. We consider these two triangles. The first one, angle DBC equals angle DFH. Reason, property of rhombus. Okay. And second, angle BCD equals 90 degrees. This is property of square. Also, this angle DHF equals 90 degrees. Given, right? The question told you that. Therefore, angle DCB equals angle DHF. Okay, second condition satisfied. The third one, BD equals DF. Again, property of rhombus. So you have three conditions here. Therefore, make the conclusion: triangle BCD is congruent to triangle FHD. Okay, done. And part A2, you need to find angle CDH, this one. So let's see. First of all, we know that this is a 45 degree. Okay. And hence, you can apply this is a parallelogram BEFD. So it is 135 degree. Okay. And now consider the polygon DCEH. These two are right angle. So the sum of these four angles are 180 degree. 360 degree. So you can find angle D. First one, angle DBC, that is 45 degree. Reason, property of square. Property of square. And then angle BEF, this one would be 180 degree minus 45 degree, that is 135 degree. Okay. And next, consider the polygon DCEH. DCEH, that is 135 degree, and these two are right angle, and I want to find this angle CDH. Angle CDH plus 90 degree plus 90 degree plus 135 degree will equals to 4 minus 2 times 180 degree, angle sum of polygon. Therefore, angle CDH will be 360 degree minus 135 degree minus 90 degree minus 90 degree, and CDH, that is 45 degree. Okay. So go to part B. If area of ABCD is K square, find the area of DCEH. Okay, DCEH. So let's see what we can do. And here, if the area of ABC is K square, that means for each side that is K. Okay, each side that is K. BC, K, CD, K. Then we can find the length of BD first. Why? Because we want to know the length of BD and then BE. Then we can find the area of the rhombus BEFD. So the length of BD, that is square root of K square plus K square. That is square root 2 times K. And you know that is BD square root 2 times K. That means the whole length of BE also square root 2 times K. So the area of BEFD, it can be written as square root 2 times K times K. So square root 2 K squared. Okay. Okay, the key point is we just want the area of this one, DCEH. That means we need to use the area of rhombus minus the area of these two triangles. Okay, so the area of DCEH, it can be written as square root 2 K squared, the area of the rhombus, minus the area of these two triangles. So 1 over 2 K squared minus 1 over 2 K squared. And here, that's become square root 2k squared minus 1k squared. So take out the common factor, square root 2 minus 1 bracket times k squared. Okay, and that's the end of question number 14. So go to question number 15. And that is the problem about the simplification of index. So look at this one. 64a and take the cube root. That means 64a to the power 1/3. Okay. So let's see the whole expressions. Okay, I should write it here more clearly. Cube root 64a and then b 1/4 and then negative 2 here, a to the power 1/2, b to the power 1. You need to simplify this. So let's start. Inside the square bracket, that is become 4a to the power 1/3. And how do we get this? 64 to cube root 3, you can be obtained by using calculator. 64, okay, upper arrow, and then start with bracket 1/3. Then you get this 4. And a, let's take the cube root, that is a to the power 1/3, okay? And the rest of the stuff, no change. So multiply negative 2 inside the bracket. That's become 4 to the power negative 2, a to the power negative 2/3, b to the power negative 1/4. So 1/2, sorry, okay? Doing the cancellation. And then a 1/2, b to the power 1. And then you are working with the division of the terms, okay? So there's a 4 to the power negative 2 here. And then a to the power negative 2/3 minus 1/2. So that's negative 7/6. And then b negative 1/2 minus 1, that is negative 3/2. So you need to change back all negative indexes to positive index. So put all the terms in the denominator, become 4 square, a to the power positive 7/6, b to the power positive 3/2. And finally, the answer 16, 4 squared is 16, a to the power 7/6, b to the power 3/2. And that's the end of question number 15. So go to question number 16. Okay, suppose 3 plus 7i bracket a plus 2i to the power 3 equals to b plus 22i. A, b are real numbers. Find the values of a and b. So we start with this one because the question told you that this equation holds. You can regard it as an identity, okay? I cube, that is negative I. I cube, that is I times I times I. So it can change to negative I. So 3 plus 7i, a negative 2i equals to b plus 22i. So 3a minus 6i plus 7ai minus 14i squared equals b plus 22i. And I squared, that's negative 1. So negative I squared, that is positive 1. So here it becomes 7a plus 14, the real part put in the front, and the imaginary part put at the end. Then you can do the comparison. Seven a minus 6 equals 22. A equals 4. And B equals 3 times 8, that's 4, plus 14, that is 26. So final answer, A equals 4, B equals 26. And that's the end of question number 16. So go to question number 17. Alpha, beta be the roots of the equation 2x squared plus kx plus k equals 1, where k is a real constant. A, express alpha squared plus beta squared in terms of k. Okay, so before we want to use the sum of root and product of root, we should change the equations in the standard form. That is 2x squared plus kx plus bracket k minus 1 equals 0. You should make one side of the equation become 0, and there's the format ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, that is the standard form of the quadratic equation. In here, a is 2, b is positive k, c is negative k minus 1. So alpha plus beta, that is negative b over a, and alpha times beta, that is positive c over a. Now I want to express alpha squared plus beta squared. You can do it this way. I add 1 to alpha beta here at the middle, and then I minus it to alpha beta back, plus this one, and then minus the same thing. So the expression would equal in magnitude, okay? But after I adding this one, you will find that the first 3 terms can form the perfect square. Actually, it's just like the concept of completing square, okay? I just add plus 2 alpha beta, and then I minus it to alpha beta at the back. So alpha plus beta, it can be replaced by negative k over 2. 2 times alpha beta, that is replaced by this one, k minus 1 over 2. And then go on, that is k squared over 4 minus bracket k minus 1. So it can change at the same denominator, become k squared minus 4 bracket k minus 1. You always have keep the bracket k minus 1 here, okay? And final answer, 4 k squared minus 4k plus 4. Okay? Some of you may want to make it as a k minus 2 bracket square. It's also fine, okay? So that's finished part A. And for part B, suppose alpha and beta are real and alpha squared plus beta squared equals 1. Find k. So we check this condition first. Alpha squared plus beta squared equals 1. That means this expression equals 1. So you can solve this equation, okay? Because you multiply 4 to another side and both side minus 4, you just left this one equal to 0. So take our common factor, a bracket k minus 4 equals 0. So k equals 0 or k equals 4. It seems easy, right? But there's a trap here. What's the trap? Alpha and beta should be real. That means After you find these two values of k, you need to substitute back in the equation and check the discriminant to see that whether it is positive or equal to 0. Okay? When k equal to 0, the equation will become 2x squared, the 0, and minus 1. Okay? So 2x squared minus 1 equals 0. Okay? So check the discriminant. That is b squared minus 4ac. That is positive 8. Oh, it's positive. The discriminant is positive. That's fine. The equation has real roots. Alpha and beta are real. Okay? So when k equals 4, what's happened? Substitute back here. 2x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals 0. 2x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals 0. So check discriminant. That is b squared minus 4ac. So you will get that is negative 8. Oh, less than 0. That means when k equals 4, alpha and beta are not real. That's we don't want. Therefore, final answer, k equals 0 or k equals 4. But k equals 4 should be rejected. Okay? So that's the full presentation of part B. And that's finished. Question number 17. Then go to question number 18. Okay, that's the concept of the plane jump. In figure 1, H is the ortho center of triangle ABC. When you look at this word ortho center, that means these two lines are perpendicular to each other. Okay, ortho center. Okay, so part A showed that AEDC are concyclic. Actually, quite straightforward. When you rotate the paper like this, then you find the two butterfly shape here, right? A butterfly shape. These two angles in the same segment are equal, so you can conclude that these 4 points are concyclic. Okay, so part A, you just need to write down a very simple statement. Okay, I use another paper to write this. Okay, so A angle AEC equals 90 degrees given. And similarly, angle ADC equals 90 degrees also given. And this is the ortho center, okay? Therefore, angle AEC equals angle ADC, and hence you can make the conclusion AEDC are concyclic. Reason: converse of angles in the same segment. So that's finished the part A. And go to part B. In figure 2, this one, a circle passing through this 4 point AEDC, show that AD is the diameter of the circle. Okay, quite simple. Again, this is right angle. So just one statement, that's finished. B. Angle AEC equals 90 degrees given. Therefore, AC is the diameter of circle. Reason: converse of angle in semicircle. So let's finish part B. And go to part C. F is a point on AB such that FD is the tangent to the circle. Okay, is tangent to the circle at point D. DE equals DF, and angle ABC, that's 40 degrees. So you need to find angle BED, this one. So what can we do? First one, you can see that there's a right angle here, and that's 40 degrees. So when you consider triangle ABD, you know that this one would be 50 degrees. And now you consider this line FD and this very small triangle AED. This angle FDE would equal to 50. Angle in alternate segment. So finally, you can find these two angles, 180 degrees minus 50, and then over 2, you get angle BED. This is 65 degrees. Okay, so let's present the solution. Okay, on here, and we modify this one. Okay. First of all, angle BAD, that is equal to 90 degrees minus 40 degrees, that is 50 degrees. Okay, exterior angle of triangle. And next, you can use angle in alternate segment. Angle FDE equals angle EAD, that is 50 degrees. Reason, angle in alternate segment. Hence, angle DEF, okay, in this isosceles triangle, that is 180 degrees minus a top angle 50 degrees, and then over 2, that's become 65 degrees. So that's finished. C1. And then go to C2. Determine whether ED is parallel to AC. Explain your answer. Okay, the problem is, how do we find this angle? How do we find this angle? Okay, because if this whole angle FAC is 65 degrees, then you can conclude that, okay, BED, BAC, these two angles are equal, and claims DE and AC are parallel. So, how do we start? And first of all, you can find this very small angle, the red one here, using adjacent angles on straight line, that is 25 degrees. And using angles in the same segment, it is also 25 degrees. So let's start. Angle DEC plus 65 degrees plus 90 degrees equals 180 degrees. Adjacent angles on straight line. Therefore, angle DEC, that is 25 degrees. And next, this one, angle DAC equals angle DEC equals 25 degrees also. And the reason, angles in the same segments. So, angle BAC would be 50 degree plus 25 degree equals 75 degree. But angle BED is 65 degree, which is not equal to 75 degree. These two angles are not equal. Therefore, ED is not parallel to AC. Okay, so let's finish question number 18 and go to question number 19. For question number 19, fx equals to kx squared minus 4kx plus 6k minus 2. K is a negative real constant. Okay, k is less than 0. By using the method of completing the square, express in terms of k the coordinates of vertex v of the graph of P y equals fx. That's a very long statement. Okay, let's explain it one by one. The name of the graph y equals fx is called P. Okay, it's just a name, not a point. It's the name of the graph. So the graph P with a vertex, call that point be V. Okay, I want you to find the coordinate of this point in terms of k. That means your answer should be something like k. Okay, the coordinate, the answer format like this, something k inside, right? By using what method? Using completing square. So what we need to do is changing fx into vertex form. First of all, take out the coefficient of x squared of the first two terms. Okay, k bracket x squared minus 4x, and then okay, leave some space here, plus 6k minus 2. So what number we can add so that it becomes perfect square? It is 4. So first of all, we divide it by 2. This become 2, and then take square. So plus 4, and then minus 4. Add 4 and then minus 4. That is the coefficient of x divided by 2, and then take square. So the next step you should do is keep the first three terms inside the bracket, leave the last term, multiply with k. So the first three terms can form the perfect square, x minus 2 bracket square. Something here, they will be simplified as 2k minus 2. So the vertex v can be written as positive 2, comma 2k minus 2. Now here there's a standard format, okay, of the this is the vertex form of the quadratic function. Okay, this will tell you the vertex coordinate. The x coordinate of this vertex is 2. If this is negative 2, then the x coordinate of the vertex will be positive. If there's a number here and behind, this will be the y coordinate of the vertex. B. A straight line y equals 6k minus 2 cuts the graph. When you see this key verb cuts, that means you need to consider these two equations, put them together to solve. Okay, intersects, cuts, touches, all these words. Then you need to do is put them together to solve it. Okay, so y equals 6k minus 2 and y equals fx. What is fx? Use this one. Do not just write down y equals fx. You have nothing to solve, right? You need to use this one. Y equals kx squared minus 4kx plus 6k minus 2. Okay? Make y vanish, okay? Eliminate y. So 6k minus 2 equals kx squared minus 4kx plus 6k minus 2. And luckily you will find that 6k cancel. Negative 2 cancel. on both sides of the equation. So it left 0 equals kx squared minus 4kx. And you can see that k is a non-negative. K is a negative real constant, so that's not a 0. So you can both sides divided by k. And you can find that 0 equals to x squared minus 4x. So you can solve this equation by yourself. X equals to 0 or x equals to 4. So how do we find the coordinate of A and B? Draw the bracket first, okay? The answer form is something like this, right? Coordinate of A, now there's an x coordinate of A less than the x coordinate of B. So check here. We found the smaller one would be the x coordinate of A. So there's 0, there's 4. And how about the y coordinate of A and B? Just use this one. Y equals 6k minus 2. Okay? Therefore, A, there's 0, 6k minus 2. B, 4, 6k minus 2. Because the straight line arrow, y equals 6k minus 2, that is no x here. So it is a horizontal line. It is a horizontal line. Okay? And part C, draw the diagram to show the situation. Part C. Okay, there's something like this. X, Y, 0 here. The x coordinate of A is 0. That's the point line on the y-axis. A, 0, 6k minus 2. And B, that is 4, 6k minus 2, okay? There's a horizontal line arrow, colon, y equals 6k minus 2. And another graph that is y equals fx. The x coordinate of whether is 2, so it should be the midpoint of A and B, okay? Something like this. Y coordinate is 2k minus 2 below the x-axis. So that is point B, and draw the graph like this. Okay, that's P. The name of the graph P. Y equals kx squared minus 4kx plus 6k minus 2. Coordinate V, 2, 2k minus 2. Okay? So part D, there's one of the difficult part in this paper. Find the values of k such that the circumcircle of triangle VAB is the smallest. Okay? It's the smallest. Oh, sorry. Okay. So let's look at these 3 points, V, A, and B. V, 2, 2k minus 2. A, 0, 6k minus 2. B, 4, 6k minus 2. As you can see from this graph, there's an axis of symmetry of the quadratic graph passing through the vertex, and that means this is the perpendicular bisector of AB. Actually, this is a perpendicular bisector of AB. And that means we lie on the perpendicular bisector of AB, so VA and VB are equal in length. That means this is an isosceles triangle. This is an isosceles triangle. Okay, suppose there's a point R, okay, be the ortho center, circumcenter of this triangle, VAB. Then the property is RA would equals RV would equals RB in general, right? Because this is a circumcenter, so VAB are the point on the circumference, so RA, RV, RB would be the same in length. But we want to make the circumcircle be the smallest one. So that means we want to minimize the length of RA, RB, RV. But when there's only one situation, that is when AB, okay, sorry, when R, this point, lie on AB. That is the only case RA, RB with the smallest. So let's check. If RA is not lying on the line AB, then the length of RA and RB, okay, with something like this, will be a bit longer. But how about when the point R lie on here, then it would be the smallest, right? It's the shortest, right? So for the smallest circle of triangle VAB, the circumcenter of triangle VAB lies on AB. But you know that there's only one situation that the circumcenter lie on the side of the triangle. That is, the point R is the midpoint of AB. There's only one situation. When this is the case, you want RA equals RV equals RB. That means there's only one possible situation occur. That is this right angle. Angle AVB equals 90 degrees. So you can use the concept of the product of slope of VA times slope of VB equals -1. And then find K. Slope of VA, the 2K minus 2 minus bracket 6K minus 2 over 2 minus 0 multiply 2K minus 2 minus 6K minus 2 with a bracket here, remember, okay, 2 minus 4 equals -1. So in the numerator here, the product that will become -4K over 2 times -4K over -2 equals -1. So 16K squared equals 4. K squared equals 1 over 4, and K equals two answers, positive 1 over 2 or K equals -1 over 2. But in here K is negative, so positive 1